what we had also found. The missing link was this polling station sheet, which none of the parties had, and it was for the Abukobi Women's Training Center. It's important to note that in the attempts to recollate, our officer had brought a pink sheet for the Abukobi Women's Training Center, but it bore on the face of it training. It had written on the face of it the word training, and it was a presidential pink sheet. And so, in the view of the commission, a training pink sheet had no business at the polling station on election day, and upon scrutinizing it, the commission was of the view that it could not be accepted. It's important to note that the parties also did not have any evidence. Both NDC and MPP did not have the pink sheets to confirm whether what was written on the training sheet was legitimate and was accurate. And so in the view of the commission and in the interest of fairness, the commission felt that it was proper to rerun the election for that particular polling station to ensure fairness. We have always maintained as a commission that it is not, our interest is not to make anybody a president. And this is something we have said across board to all our officers. Our interest is to conduct credible and transparent elections that are fair, that ensure that the will of the people as expressed at the polls is upheld. And so once none of the parties had any pink sheet to confirm, and they both said they didn't have it, we agreed at that meeting that we should have a rerun. It's important to note that at that meeting, the NDC agreed with the idea to have a rerun. The MPP was of the view that they did not have, because their agents had left the center, they had not taken part in the collation, and therefore they wanted the commission to start the collation afresh. We explained to them that the commission had received all the pink sheets, and I think that was 369, I believe, 369 polling stations, and we had cross-checked that against what had been done by the returning officer, and it was accurate. It was just that one missing, and that is why we took the decision to have a rerun. And this, as I said, was agreed to by the NDC. Since then, we have not rested on our oars, and we've tried to unearth and unravel how we came by. In all of this, as you may be aware, we had reached out to the returning officer and our district officer, but we did not have any explanation for the use of the training sheet. What they had said was the presiding officer realized at the point of filling the form that what she had was a presidential pink sheet, and therefore she used a presidential training sheet. It didn't add up. It was not convincing. And so 2 days ago as a commission, in our investigation, we had the light bulb moment that why don't we really do away with all the party agents at the collation center, because they have not been able to provide us the information we need. Why don't we go to the ground? Rather than deal with collation agents at the collation center, why don't we identify, look out for the agents, the polling agents at the Abukobi Training Center? And so we took steps. We reached out to the parties, and we were able to do that. The PO was out of town. We were able to also reach her and ask her to come, return back to Accra to answer a few questions. This morning we met with her, and she explained to us how she arrived at the training. She arrived at using the pink sheet for presidential training with training embossed on it. It's important to note that she did not have this training sheet with her on election day. And it's also important to note that contrary to what is being peddled in the news, though that training sheet was not signed by party agents, the question has been asked that, oh, it's the EC sheet, why are they not using it? Training sheets have no place at the polling station, and that's why we are not using it. It was not a parliamentary pink sheet, even training, it was presidential, and it was not signed by any of the party agents. What she has explained is that As I mentioned, she recognized that she did not have the parliamentary pink sheet. She had the presidential. And so she tallied everything on paper. She had both agents of the NPP and the NDC confirm the figure. And they decided, they agreed to go to the collation center to obtain a copy of the parliamentary pink sheet. Once there, they were informed to go to the district office. On their way there, unfortunately, they were accosted by some thugs who threatened their lives, and in the process, she fled. The good news is that she had this sheet in her bag, but she fled. And she says that the agents also dispersed and they all left. And so none of them had the results. She had it on a sheet. I'm happy to note, however, that the parties, although we did not have a pink sheet for parliamentary signed and completed at that level, each party also had their own tally cards. And on that tally sheet, they have the number of persons who came through. They had all the details, including the results, the total for each political party. And we have received that of the NPP. Although they are not present here, the presiding officer, some days after the election, reached out to the agents, the party agents, and the agent for the NPP sent his copy, and we've seen that we have the evidence and their communication. And it tallies that of what our presiding officer had on the training sheet. We have also met with the NDC agent, and we've also taken a record of his tally sheet, which also contains the number of people who came to the center and the votes for each of the parties, and they tally. And that has enabled us to arrive at a completion today. So today, the commission is pleading and collation at the Dome-Kwabenya constituencies without a shadow of doubt that the outcome reflects the will of the people as expressed at the polls. So as mentioned, ours is not to make anybody president. It is to ensure that our outcomes and our processes guarantee that the people's choice is upheld. So we're happy to note that we have come full circle today, and the outcome of that election has been confirmed as being legitimate, as being the choice of the people. I think at this point, it is not in my place to make that declaration, and I'll hand over to our MC to take over and to let proceedings continue. Thank you. So we'd like to thank you. We know it's been a long road. I think that the lesson in it is that our processes must be allowed to work. I know that the candidate has been through quite a bit, but the processes must be allowed to work. And I'd like to also place on record that we don't rest on our oars here. And we're burning the midnight oil to ensure that, the right thing is done. And we're pleased that, we had that flash, that light bulb moment to go down, to drill down to the ground. And that has brought out the truth. And the truth will be upheld. So thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, Madam. At this point, we would like to call the presiding officer,
anything out.
Mr. Dome-Kwabenya. And we also like to invite close to the presiding officer. So first, I'll hand over the mic to Mr. Dome-Kwabenya to do the declaration, and then the symbolic aspects will be done by him.
Let's see your face.
Thank you. Stand up. Yeah, stand up.
Then you should want him to use the mic. Come and do it. Don't wait for us to do your work.
So, good afternoon. Afternoon, Chairperson. Good afternoon, party representatives. My name is James Zakaria Kobin, the returning officer for Dome-Kwabenya constituency. Just like the chairperson has said, we have arrived at the final result of Dome-Kwabenya parliamentary election. On the face of the page sheet, we have Michael Aaron Yao Okwe Jr. polled 50,669 votes, 50669. Akuru Faustina Elikblim polled 50,967 votes, 50967. Dora Nyako polled 220 votes, that is 220. And Remy Parko Edmondson, the total valid votes 102,158, 1021, that is 624. The total vote cast, that is 102,782, that is 102782. Now, with the power invested in me as the returning officer for Dome-Kwabenya constituency and the presence of the returning officer for the presidential election, I declare Madam Akuru Faustina Elikblim as the MP elect for Dome-Kwabenya. Thank you. Okay, so this is Madam Akuru Faustina Elikblim. Yes, by the power invested in me as a returning officer, I declare Madam Akuru Faustina Elikblim as the MP elect for Dome-Kwabenya constituency. Thank you. Yes, this is yeah, I think the agent has got the phone. Yes.
Right, so finally, the NDC candidates Faustina Elikblim Aklogu has been declared as MP elect for the Dome-Kwabenya constituency. We'll draw close to her and have some short words with the Member of Parliament elect by way of update. The one polling stations that was in contention, the figures have been now being added, and the results as declared by the returning officer suggests that Mike Okwe Jr. polled 50,669 votes. The winner, Elikblim Faustina Akuru, garnered 50,967. Doranyako garnered 220 votes, and Paco also garnered 320 votes. And so that's the situation here. Let's draw closer to Madam Akrogu and find out what's the... And now, let's find out.
Yeah, it has come too fast, so tell me, what is your story today?
Thank you very much. I think today We didn't have any declaration because there was no recollation or anything. Today is an affirmation because you all know that on the 8th of December, almost all of you were present in Dome-Kwabenya where I was declared. So today is not a declaration, it's an affirmation. And so I just want to thank God for how far He has brought us. Today, we all know that the elephant is a big animal. And when you kill it, before it finally dies, it has to take time and it has to struggle. And so today, finally, the elephant is dead. And Dome-Kwabenya has come to stay. Having that trust in Kwabenya becomes a place that everybody would love to be.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's all right. So let's speak to the
Thank you.
It's all right. So let's speak to the deputy director in charge of the electoral and IT.
Tell me, how do you feel now?
Well, we will say to God be the glory. As a party, let me take this opportunity to thank the Electoral Commission. I mean, Madam Jean Mensah. When they do well, we'll congratulate them. But when they do mistake, we'll fire. Yes, I mean, we'll thank them for the path they've taken. Because clearly, like we stated earlier, there was no need to embark on that path. Because clearly the people spoke loudly. They voted for Madam Akurugu, and we wanted their vote to stand. And so we push, and finally they reasoned with us. So we have to thank them, the Electoral Commission, for having reasoned well with us and for having abandoned the process that they were trying to engage in. We know the situation it was created for the country. It was going to mar the beauty of whatever they were doing all over. And so we thank them, the Electoral Commission, for having done this yeoman's job. And I always state, when they do the right thing, we will thank them. If they go outside the right thing, we will fire. We'll make sure that we'll bring them onto the right path, and then the Ghanaians will benefit.
What is the right thing? Is it because if it does not go your way, it's wrong, and if it goes your way, it's right, or there's something that they did wrong that you bashed it at them, or?
Clearly, the people voted for Madam, and they themselves confirm it. It wasn't the mistake of the electorate. The mistake was not from the electorate. The mistake was not from the candidate. The mistake was not from the agent. It was from the presiding officer. And she agreed. What happened? And so therefore, they need not punish our candidate or the electorate. And so that has been our position. And clearly, they reasoned to us. And then they made it. So if clearly they had gone to the other side, of course, that would have been natural justice would have demanded that we follow that path. And also we are grateful for that.
4 more of the seats to be declared. We have the North, we have that of Tema Central, you also have that of Okango Central. Are you confident that after everything, maybe tomorrow, after tomorrow's sitting, the seat is going to fall for you?
Yes, all the forces are going for NDC. We won the seat fairly, clearly. What we are fighting over there at the High Court is not tomorrow that they are going to give a ruling on our objection that we raised, the preliminary objection. And it's very clear. What they did is that they are trying to use a backdoor to get whatever they are looking for. In fact, they are looking to come through a backdoor to have a petition filed. That is the form they are trying to do. And that is why our lawyers raised that objection. You cannot use that method, mandamus, to get that kind of method because those declarations were made. What is all here is not a real declaration. They're just confirming what they have declared already. Nothing has changed. Okay, DS is different. They want to now come, do another collation, and do another declaration. That is illegal. It's not known to the law. And that is why we've been saying it. It's completely illegal. And I told you, that Burunya thing they went and did, you see that it has stayed in their face. It won't happen. What we know is that those 4 seats, we want them fairly. And I'm very sure tomorrow they will throw them out. That mandamus will not stand. What is mandamus? You want to force a state institution to carry out its mandate, its duty, that it has not carried out. They've carried out the duty. Those returning officers, they are in charge. And they carry out. You, the media, you capture it. You saw the declaration in Okaikwe Central, Tema Central, and Ablikwano. You walk through it. It was captured live on your television station. So why can somebody go to court and say EC has not done collation, they have not done declaration, so you are forcing them to come and do collation and do declaration. What is that? So we are clear in our mind. Tomorrow, our objection will be upheld by the trial judge, and this Mandoma will be dead on arrival, and the 4 MPs will be sworn into office. You see, we have just captured Dome-Kwabenya. Thank God to glory. These people, they wanted to use a back door to get it. We'll turn them out. It's level 4. We'll capture that one too.
Right. So that's Deputy Director of IT and Elections for the National Democratic Congress expressing confidence that the remaining outstanding seats will go in favor of the NDC. Just passed was a declaration that Faustina Elikplim-Akrugu, who is parliamentary candidate for the NDC, been declared by the EC as MP-elect for the constituency. By way of update, Michael Eronkwe Jr. polled 50,669 votes, and Faustina Elikplim-Akrugu garnered 50,967 votes, and Dora Nyako polled 220 votes, and that of an independent candidate, Paco, garnered 320 votes. And so that is what's just transpired here at the Electoral Commission office here at Ridge.